Namaskaram. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Our first bow to Lord Krishna, who is Narayana himself, friend of Arjuna, and the goddess Saraswati, who has graced us by revealing the secrets of Mahabharata, and the writer Vyasa. With this shloka, we would request all the negative energies to go away, and one should always get Jaya and Vijayam in all the work he does. With this shlokam, we have a Narottama, Bharatottama with us, Sri T Narendran ji, as the consummate artist for the evening for Sankatha, a series of conversation with internationally acclaimed male dancers from across the world. Namaste, sir. Welcome to the show.
Namaskaram, Sagar Tumakuru.
Namaste, sir. It's been a pride and honor to listen, to watch, and to hear about the great sadhana of our consummate artist of the day, Sri T Narendran ji. I think he's not like an unknown personality amongst the field of dancers, but as a respect, I would like to read out his bio in a very nutshell format. Born into a family of traditional dancers, he was initiated into the art of Bharatanatyam at the tender age of 7 by his own sister, Guru Kalamandalam Ambika. At the age of 11, he enrolled into the Rukmini Devi's College of Fine Arts, none other than the Big Banyan Tree at Chennai Kalakshetra Foundation, where he graduated in Bharatanatyam and pursued his postgraduate diploma with first class honors, and 10 years he served the alma mater as a faculty and later chose to do a freelance in the field of Bharatanatyam. Though he resigned for his official job of being a faculty at Kalakshetra in 1999, his association with the institute hasn't deterred even today. He has been a guest faculty, external examiner, lead performer, of course, in many of the Kalakshetra dance productions, which has gained critical acclaim across the world. He has been one of their foremost dancers since 1989 and proven his presence and command through the major characters of the productions of Kalakshetra which he embodied. His profound bhava and abhinaya made him a dancer of great acclaim worldwide. This spirited dancer has hypnotizing sense of rhythm too. T Narendran ji is also trained in Kathakali and has performed in various festivals in India and abroad. As a dancer, teacher, and choreographer, he collaborates on a variety of dance projects in the traditional, modern, and contemporary genres with renowned institutions like Kalakshetra Foundation to Rudra Bejat Ballet, Switzerland. He has given numerous solo dance recitals, lecture demonstrations, and workshops in many prestigious forums in India and over 30 countries across the world. He was in complete charge of the concert section at Kalakshetra Foundation, from teaching, training, performing, touring, and presenting the dance dramas from the year 2007 to 2012. With his intensive and extensive experience with mega stage productions of Kalakshetra, T Narendran ji also designs the lighting plots for all his dance productions. Today, he also manages the virtual telecasts of Kalakshetra Foundation as editor in chief due to his thorough knowledge of all the areas concerned with the dance production. He has choreographed 18 dance drama productions and has several Bharatanatyam repertoires to his credit. Currently, some of his choreographies are taught as part of the curriculum also at Kalakshetra Foundation. As an actor, his debut film, His Father's Voice, under the Kavadi Productions LLP, released on the 19th of April 2019 in Hollywood, the US. The consummate artist has been awarded with various different titles, among which some of the important ones include Bharatanatyam Kalayagnan by Iyal Isai Nataka Mandram, Chennai, Gnana Oli Tiruttondan Award by Temple of World Peace Chennai, Senior Dancer Award by Narada Gana Sabha Chennai, Vidya Tapasvi by Tapasvi Cultural Foundation Chennai, Natya Churar Oli by Indian Arts Academy, Melbourne, Australia, Nartaka Nipuna by Abhay, the Association of Bharatanatyam Artists of India in Chennai, and Natya Kalanidhi recently, again by Bharatanjali Institute, Melbourne in Australia. He is a celebrated soloist, a great choreographer, teacher, and, as we all know, the lead performer and choreographer of most of the Kalakshetra productions as on date. And recently, the world also acclaimed his achievement as being part of the committee of Kalakshetra Foundation as a celebrated alumni for the next consecutive term. Congratulations and welcome to the show, Narendran sir.
Thank you, Sagarji. Thank you.
It's been a great honor for us to have you here on the forum of Sankatha, and we are really humble enough that you accepted the invitation and you are part of it. So, as we all know, that you have started dancing at the tender age of 7. But how was the environment at home, and what made you actually pursue Bharatanatyam in a very serious manner in life at a very tender age, sir?
My namaskaram to all of you viewers there, and of course, Sri Sai Raman Nritya Kendra for inviting me here. It's a pleasure uh, having a conversation with you, Mr. Sagar Tumakuru. Yeah, most of my interviews begin with my story, how I begin. See, I am actually I'm really blessed to be born in a traditional artist family. My grandparents, my father's side, my father's father and my grandmother were Kaikotikali dancers, the traditional Kerala Kaikotikali dancers. And then my father, he was a school teacher. Actually, I'm from a teacher's family.
Academic
My
background, yeah.
father was a Sanskrit teacher and used to work for Vivekananda College. And my mother is 94 years and supporting everything what happens in my family. And I'm blessed to have my own guru to initiate me in Bharatanatyam, Srimati Kalamandalam Ambika. And this itself is a blessing for me. I'm so fortunate to be born in such a family. And to what more to say about dance? In the beginning, I did not want to be a dancer, but it so happened, I would say dance came to me. It was a blessing. To say it very, very short, when I was 6 or 7 years old, my sister already completed her graduation in Kerala Kalamandalam. And she started her dance classes very close to my place. So every day I used to go there and just to escort her to get back home by 6 o'clock. And she used to be very young, and it's a pleasure sitting and watching all girls dancing. But I'd never seen a male dancer until then. So one day it so happened that one student was making a little mistake, and my sister was saying, "Okay, come on, do it again and again." And I felt a little bit of something that I wanted to help my sister. So I just went stood next to this girl and said, "Okay, follow this." And I showed that movement. And my sister went and told my father that this is what happened in the class. And my father said, "Okay, show me." And I showed him, and he said that, "Come on, now start learning from your sister." And I gave Guru Dakshina on the same day evening and started learning from my sister. And it was a big task for my sister to teach a brother, a naughty brother. I used to hide every time because I didn't want anyone to know that I'm learning dance, because I did not know male can dance like that. I had seen only Kathakali dancers, male dancers, not for Bharatanatyam or Mohiniyattam. And my sister specialized in Bharatanatyam and Mohiniyattam. So I had to begin my lessons in Bharatanatyam. Then my sister trained me in 1-2 years time, and I did a first performance in a Shiva temple. That was a disaster. And then my sister decided to send me to another guru, Padmanabhan Master. He's still there. Always I think of him. And he told me, Bharatanatyam and Mohiniyattam and all for girls, I'll teach you a hunter folk dance. And he taught me a hunter folk dance. In 2-3 months' time, there was a school annual day function coming, and said, he asked me if I want to dance, and I was really doubtful. Almost the whole village came to know that I'm learning dance, and my age group of 7-8 years old friends were saying, hey, you're learning dance. Okay, why? It was for girls, and why are you doing that? Maybe, yeah. So that was a fun part. But this incident, what happened was, my sister and my father strictly told Padmanabhan Master that let him learn first. He don't need to perform. Probably another disaster, So this I heard very clear, and I told myself, I'm not that bad. I can prove myself. So I told this master that I will do it. And then I got a lot of appreciation from school. Teachers were taking me as an example that, okay, multi-talented. I used to be good in studies and sports, and plus dance, that was a plus point. And then from then onwards, started taking part in school competitions, and always I used to get first prize. And I used to compete with girls because there were no other girls in the school, and sub-district, district, and state competition also. So then I got some kind of confidence, and I got some appreciation, some kind of appreciation more, and I felt that I'm able to do something better than not a dancer. So that was the inspiration, the basic. And my sister and my father decided to send me to Kalakshetra. And at the age 11, I joined Kalakshetra as a student. And I did my schooling, plus I was a part-time student. Then I continued my lessons, and as you mentioned in that biodata, my story you already mentioned. So
Yeah.
that's how it
Sir,
started.
have you seen your parents perform Kaikottu Kali, sir?
No, not my grandparents. I'd never
Okay.
seen it. Before I was born, they were already uh, union with the gods.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
Okay.
had not
Okay.
seen them.
And how about your sister? Is she performing today and teaching also today?
Yes. She has got many
Okay.
students all over the world, I would say, and she is conducting also online classes now because of this pandemic, and
Pandemic.
she's also performing. Sometimes she comes online, and
Yeah.
she continue, and she is a senior dancer, and she is president of Dancers Association in
Kerala.
our district, Malappuram district. Yeah,
Oh, that's
and
nice to
she's
know.
quite well known all over Kerala, and those who know Kalamandalam, they know also my
Mm.
sister Kalamandalam Ambika.
Yeah, that's nice. Sir, you were into a teaching which was more like a hobby class in the beginning. And when you went to Kalakshetra, it became more like a serious mode of learning in an institutionalized way. So, how did you find the difference between the prior and the latter?
See, I was totally a kid. I was not aware of a male dancer. I was not against to dance, but I didn't want to learn dance when I was, like a kid, a 7-8 year old kid. I did not know what I was doing, and I thought, this is for girls alone. But when my father asked me if I want to join Kalakshetra, and I felt that it was like, okay, I can be in a big city like Chennai,
Chennai.
um, and Kalakshetra institution, wherever I am, I have to do that. So if I agree to learn dancing, I can be in this big city.
City.
So that inspired me more, and came to Kalakshetra. And Kalakshetra is an institution. When you enter the campus itself, it's like entering into a temple. Kalakshetra means temple for arts. And for me, the whole atmosphere, this is about 100 acres campus. And the whole campus, when you enter, the whole nature of you changes according to that Kalakshetra's nature itself. Uh, I always believe everything around us can inspire us or change us. We have to only accept.
Exactly.
And from beginning, I know only to accept. So I could gel with the Kalakshetra's nature and training, and whatever I had to follow in the institution with the rules and regulations. It was easy for me because my father already was a person like that. Like morning 5 o'clock, we had to get up, and we do all that. Like we had to farm land and all. So we had buffaloes, cows, and other animals. And our job, my job, from the age 5, I can say that myself and my brother, we used to, feed all the buffaloes and the cattle. And then by 6 o'clock, I used to do also that, newspaper. I had to distribute
Distribute.
newspaper to at least 25, 30 houses. And that was my routine. So every time action, never lazy. So that was the nature from the very beginning itself. And of course, school studies goes with that. And I used to also help in the farm, in the land, like a paddy field. I used to do all those things what a farmer do. And then coming into Kalakshetra, it's full of garden. We used to make gardens. We used to plant all this, with my another guru, Sri C.S. Thomas. He was my inspiration for garden and all this. And he was my teacher also in Kalakshetra. So we teachers and students have a great rapport, like a family. In fact, we used to address Srimati Rukmini Devi Atte.
Yeah.
Atte is actually in Tamil, it's auntie, but we never called her in English. But Atte was more, it was more connecting all students and staff with a family atmosphere. Even now, students call their teachers sometimes teacher or sir, guru, or akka, or like Anna. And this is how children, So that itself gave me a kind of feeling of togetherness. So to gel with this institution was much easy for me because I come from such a family background also.
Yeah. Sir, you mentioned that you didn't have much of exposure towards male dancing. After coming to Kalakshetra, who were your first line influenciers that, who influenced you like, okay, male can also dance and it's a serious issue and we can pursue it? Who gave you that confidence?
Okay. See, Kalakshetra, so many male dancers. When I joined in 1980, I was 11 years old. And in my classmate, Ganesh, his name, he was actually 1 year senior to me. In my class, I was only one boy and other girls. But in the other classes, we obviously we meet other students who are learning Bharatanatyam. So to inspire, there were so many dancers. And in particular, I would say that I had, after my schooling, when I joined full-time student, then my hostel department also changed from school section to the college section. And there I had one of my friend, Vivek Kindra, and he was my senior. He was 2 years senior to me. But morning exercises and things like that, we used to have a competition. Okay, you make 100 jumps, I make 100 jumps. All kind of exercises, practice, and it was like more like a competition. So this is also, it was not competition. I am just using that word competition, but it was so much of inspiration. Sharing the same art with a challenge. Actually, the challenge, I realize now, the challenge is between your mind and body. Whatever your mind says, your body has to do. It is not necessary to challenge with somebody else.
Correct.
So that's how that was inspiration, and I knew that I'm in the right route. And Kalakshetra is institution doesn't teach dance as the teacher knows about dance. The teachers teaches according to how the student understand that art form. So how a student internalize this art form, and that is very, very important. And I had my space, like I knew how to accept and how to execute.
Okay.
And with a very friendly teaching methodology.
Methods.
The teachers, Rukmini Devi's idea, this is what do you say, education without fear, and this is followed in Kalakshetra thoroughly. Even teachers want to no scolding happens, but teachers make you understand that if you don't understand what you are doing, better you understand. And for that, to wake up your inner energy and the best of your potential. And that's how they explain. And some people think that very strong, very harsh way. It is not at all harsh, actually. However, the student need such
Yes.
correction, and teachers used to only make the student understand. And that was the main. So, and accepting whatever, however the teachers accept, sharing this knowledge, it's up to the student. Some people take it in a different way. And for me, I was so lucky to learn from stalwarts of Kalakshetra. And again, blessing.
That's very true, sir. Sir, and did your studies, like you said that your father was a scholar in Sanskrit. So did you have any background of Sanskrit before entering Kalakshetra, and did that help you at any point of time?
Not really. My father did not teach me Sanskrit directly, but
Okay.
his Malayalam, Malayalam is a language, is very close to Sanskrit. All pronunciations, and this actually helped me to get Sanskrit pronunciation better. And my father used to speak very high. How to say? His expressions used to be very precise, with clarity and purity of that language. And that itself is a great influence to have a great knowledge of how to pronounce or the sound. I mean, like how to speak the right words in the right mode in the right moment. Yes, my father was a great inspiration in that sense. And he always explained me things. Whenever I went wrong, he explained, you take a Sanskrit verse from our traditional knowledge. Like, for example,
Subhashitams or something like that.
yeah. So, for example, once I did something, I disappointed my father, and he said he did not say anything. It was, I knew that my father was so silent when I was in a different mood. He had never seen me something like that. So the next day morning, after the very next day morning, he said that I'm going out. You have to come with me. And my father never called me like that, because he said, I'm going to the market, come with me. I said, okay. And I thought that, okay, my father is accepting me like Tolukku Vandavan Thoran, like he's
I mean,
treating
in
me like
16 years, you have to treat your son as
I
friend.
was uh, I was 13 or 14 years old that time. The moment we step out of the house, do you know to whom you are talking? And the argument was happening with my mother. And the moment he asked me to whom you were talking yesterday, I kept silent. I didn't know what was happening. If you want to know, you have to have patience. And he take the verse, Narasya Abharanam Rupam. Rupasya Abharanam Gunam. Gunasya Abharanam Jnanam. Jnanasya Abharanam Kshama. So the base is you have to be patient. With patience, you get knowledge. Through knowledge, you get good qualities. Through good qualities only you can be a good human being. So, so many things like this. So that is my father. Always he also never say things. Do this, do that. Because when you say do this, do like that, do like this, it is only for that matter. How it can be implemented to everything when you give a proper right example. And that was my father.
That's great to know about, like, how indirectly we can influence rather than directly, correcting somebody, because that indirect influence will take you in a longer run in a better way.
Truly.
So, sir, you actually came to Chennai for a very interesting reason, as all boys want to go to cities and for studies, especially in that adolescent age. So, how did you enjoy Chennai city after joining Kalakshetra?
I had not seen Chennai city at all. In the beginning, for about 8 years of my studies in Kalakshetra, I went out of the campus only to go back home. Never for shopping, never for a cinema, and never for enjoying and looking at around in the city. that happened actually in the very first year when I joined. I was staying in my uncle's place. So I used to take a bus, and my father told me, "You have to learn Tamil because all the signboards on bus is written in Tamil." And so I learned Tamil to read and write Tamil in 1 month itself. So he sent me 1 month in advance just to learn Tamil because I had to take the bus and go to Kalakshetra. So that time I had seen the city, and I am very easily convinced person. Like when I see this part of the city, I can imagine the other part of the city how it will be. So I was not curious to see the whole city in that sense. Uh, for me, even when I'm traveling anywhere in the world, it's the same feeling for me. When I see this building, the other building is going to be okay. Slightly the shape is different, but otherwise it's all the same. But I'm more interested in culture, traditions, language, food, and this is my real, interest. So Kalakshetra, after first year, Kalakshetra gave me scholarship for my further studies, and I was so lucky and completely in the campus alone.
That's nice. Sir, and what made you, extend your association in Kalakshetra as a teacher? As soon as you finished your education at Kalakshetra, you will have obviously a lot of other options in, to come back or different options. But were you offered a job by the Kalakshetra Foundation, or you wanted to be there and you extended it? And how did this happen, sir?
See, after my postgraduate diploma,
Post-graduation. Yeah.
I actually went for my train concession form. So when I went for concession form, principal that time, Sri S. Rajaram sir, he asked me, "What are you going to do next year?" And at the age of 18, I completed. I said, "Sir, I don't know." But my sister and myself had planned to start an institution in my own place, a village called Anamangad in Malappuram district in Kerala. But nothing was really planned. But when a sir asked me, I said that not yet decided, sir. I don't know. Okay, then come back. That's the only word Rajaram sir said. And sir, will you give me a train concession form to come back? And they had a discussion in the office and said, okay, fine, we'll give. And because that time, I think the train ticket was only about 80 rupees and you get 50% concession, so 40 rupees for one way. And sir gave me a concession form. And I told my father, okay, the post-diploma is over, but Kalakshetra asked me to come back. And he said, fine, come on. And I returned to Kalakshetra, and I had my room, hostel room, everything I left behind. Then I was roaming actually for about 10 days. I didn't know what I was doing. And the classes started. I asked, sir, can I go to which class? I don't know which class to join. So wait, let's see. Now you just, and they were sending me for part-time classes and all. So part-time, I was taking class for part-time students for that 10 days. And then they gave me an appointment order that you are appointed as a people teacher. And that's how I joined Kalakshetra. Again, blessing.
Yeah, that's true. That's a real blessing, actually, which you had been there, and that too at a younger age, where I think 18 or 19 you were when you started your education. I mean, teaching
Teaching.
dance. And I think we have a very short time, but a long, long journey of yours to cover. So I'll just go to the next aspect, sir,
Please.
about your association with productions of Kalakshetra. Before even getting into that, what are some of the things which actually attracted you very much in the productions of Kalakshetra? When you weren't part of it yet, that means before joining as a role or dancing even in any productions, first at first sight, like when you saw the productions as a student or maybe as a viewer or something like that, there was something which attracted you and you wanted to be there rather than being on the side of the audience. So what were those some of the interesting aspects which you felt personally?
Honestly speaking, no imagination, nothing. I just watched. It's like watching a dance drama in Kalakshetra is like watching a film, like a very interesting film. So it is that precisely presented, and I could only be mesmerized with this performance and never imagine that I want to do this, I want to do that. So I was quite blank and only receiving.
So, but you slowly become part of the productions, and slowly you have been almost like in the chief director kind of a position. So, but I think it has taken almost 2, 3 decades along. So, how do you see the productions of Kalakshetra then, like in 1980s to 1990s, relevant even today? What are the factors which are sustaining the productions? Because in the world, so many productions are being done and they have been vanished and it's been there. But when we say a production of some kanda of Ramayana, of Kalakshetra, even today, all the bros go high and everybody wants to see it wherever it is, whether it is in Kalakshetra, Rukmini Arangam, or in any place. If you people are coming and performing the same, the act of different kandas of Ramayana, but still people have that, it's like if for general audience, I mean to say, it's like a movie called Sholay, which has been even played today. People want to see it again and again for many reasons which we know, some epics like that. So what are those kind of sustainable features? Because it is very important for any dancer or a composer or a choreographer to have that vision of sustaining over time, because doing what is right for today and changing it tomorrow for tomorrow's time is very easy, because that is a different way of doing it. But sustaining a production for more than 50 to 70 years as of now, because you also joined it in 90s, means it was, I mean, choreographed even far, 2 decades probably before you joined Kalakshetra too. So it's sustaining so many generations, and still it has been like the best among the, like the classics, what we can call. So what are the reasons which you find behind
The
this?
reason is very simple. First of all, I want to appreciate you, Sagar. It's a very, very good question, and it's very important for all of us as dancers to remember this. And it is simple as the power of classicism. You have to just take Bharatanatyam, more than 2000 years old.
Yes.
Still, we are doing Bharatanatyam. Anything comes from that true nature from within, without any distractions. The classicism needs that truthfulness, honesty. Whenever we start, begin to dance, we pray to the God and we begin to dance to reach your deep within, to bring this art from that honest space. And as long as we are doing that, it will stay. And all Srimati Rukmini Devi's productions of dance dramas are based on this classicism. So many dance dramas she choreographed, and all of them, especially want to say that Ramayana is the most famous, and no, other dance dramas are not any less. But to very quickly come to the point, these dance dramas, if a character walking from this position to the other position, and if it is with a curve, you have to walk only with that curve. If you go directly, it shows that something not right. And Kalakshetra, from time to time, we are following this tradition without even a little bit of changes.
Yeah.
And this is a creation of Srimati Rukmini Devi. We have to only understand her creation and just follow. Just follow, it will not go wrong at any time. And anyone can perform. Anyone can perform, those who are well versed in this art form, and it will look the same for even hundreds of years. And that is the reason. I would say it's classicism. Classicism needs that deep spiritual involvement with whatever you are doing. And contemporary is something different. Contemporary is, for me, I remember in France once in a radio interview, the person who was talking to me was a football commentator. He asked me what you're performing. It was also a promotion
Video.
interview. So I was performing following day or something like that. So he asked me, "What are you going to perform?" I said that I'm going to perform some pieces. This how old is that? I said the songs are, composed about 300 years ago. 300 years ago, you still perform for these songs? I said that is what is classical. Classicism is only about that. Contemporary is only a temporary thing. I feel once you see it, you will not be able to see it again. And this is not only for Bharatanatyam or other classical dance forms. Movies like Sholay, that's what the classicism in it. See, I have watched Tillana Mohanampal for more than 50 times. I can still watch. I used to carry this CD, Tillana Mohanampal, wherever I toured, because whenever I feel down, I used to watch this film.
Oh,
So it is not just any film, but classicism in it. It's not necessary to be classical music and art in that.
correct.
That depth, what you express through that uh, medium of performance or film. So that classicism makes it alive forever. Even when we are doing Alaripu, so many times we are doing Alaripu. I can never say that I am bored with Alaripu. But there are so many contemporary minded people that, oh, you're still doing that. Okay, you haven't become that dancer inside you. That's what I would say. So if you are coming out from that from within, you will never feel that it is something old that you're repeating. And also one more thing I used to tell my students: the person is dancing is not the person dancing. The dancer in that person dances. So you have to identify the dancer in you, and from there only the dance comes. So the mind becomes the dancer. Mind is the dancer, not the body. Otherwise, the body try to do this movement, that movement, precisely, precise jump, precise lines, precise rhythm. That is only the physical action. And Bharatanatyam is all about the mind
Wow.
and involvement of your inner self. And it becomes a language of your uh, emotions expressed through physical action. But not physical action makes this dance.
That's
I
very
should say also that the difference between arts and sports. When you make it with your body, it becomes sports. When you make it from your heart and soul, it becomes classicism and classical art form. And all Srimati Rukmini Devi's productions are from this base, that the spirituality and the depth of her understanding of classicism in everything that she did. And for Ramayana, when I say Mysore Vasudevacharya did the music composition,
music.
even in that Ramayana, every song is made that precise, not only with that precise notation. Even shlokas, if you sing that shloka slightly different with that special capacity of the singer, it will not shoot, it will not work. People have tried, I have listened, it will not work. And the very next time they leave it and just follow. And because it is that it has got that much of depth and involvement, and that for example, Tyagaraja Kritis, how many years?
Hmm.
Is there anything to change, any sangadis to change?
No.
And Rukmini Devi's productions are like that. So there is nothing to change, only to understand.
Sir, that is, I think, one aspect which is very well said by you, that how do we conserve it and take it forward. Second is, though there is not much changes in the way the performance is, but the arena has changed. Like, there are a lot of technical advancements now, maybe in terms of music, light, and other technological advancements. So, and people like you who are well versed in these, how are you in art, or in which capacity are you enriching this in a different way? I would rather say, uh, like, what can these technological things be added to, like, make a rich presentation out of what is already there, or we don't require it at all?
We should use every possible technology. See, for example, we are doing this live interview now. We are using
Yeah.
technology. If we know how to use it in the right way, it also looks beautiful and acceptable. And with the lights and sound system now, digital sound, our ears have trained to that sensitive sound. So we have to grow with that technology, and it's very, very important when it comes to music, the quality of sound. Uh, Earlier, we did not have that possibility, but always making the best of those possibilities, and that's how we grew up. And now don't know what coming next. And the stage lighting, okay. Earlier we did not have so much of lights technology and things so on, but now we have. But how to use them, how we use them, it is like, for me, a stage setup is depending upon what you're going to present on that stage. If it is a classical performance, okay, when it comes to dance drama, it is different. Okay, because dance drama, it's a story and all the characters and the situation described. So each scene, if this scene is happening in the forest, we have to have a background that represents a forest. And if it is a palace, we have to create a palace in that, that's how it works for the dance dramas. But even for a Bharatanatyam repertoire, when you are performing, for me, I always saw this aesthetics. What is aesthetics? Anything can be beautiful, but aesthetics is something that only one way it can go right. And for me, it's simple to say, very quick, the difference between beauty and glamour. What is beauty? Beauty comes from where? And beauty comes from within. And you have to
Within.
create, or we have to train our eyes to see beauty. Then you will know what is aesthetics. And glamour is something else. You make it with the help of so many external things. So
Yes.
beauty and glamour has got that much difference. And for example, our contemporary dance or a classical is the same, that come from beauty within and from a glamorous expression of your outer world or outer expression. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir, yeah.
all this technology is good, and we have to use it in the right way. How you find, or how you can create beauty that your heart desires.
Correct. That's very true. And also not destroying the aesthetics which has already been established. That is another challenge for you because
That is
already there is
easy.
a set aesthetical principle of Rukmini Amma. So you need to keep all those things and then not degrading anything. You will have to enrich it through the technology. That's a very
Obviously, because
difficult task.
this is actually, Kalakshetra teachers. All those pass out from Kalakshetra only can be a teacher, and performers, all those who have learned the same system what Rukmini Devi envisioned. So it will never go anywhere, any other direction, and that's for sure. So this part we have to preserve.
Sir, you have come from a Kerala land, and I just have this small question which is just popping up in my mind now. It's about the design of Rukmini Arangam. It's inspired from the Kutambalam of Kerala. So you probably would have seen Kutambalams before or experienced Kutambalams before, and this Rukmini Arangam. So, what are the similarities and dissimilarities in that in terms of experience and dancing and things like, except the technological part of it?
See, it is designed with complete um, visualization of Srimati Rukmini Devi, and she got the right architect, Sri
Yeah,
Appugutta Nair. And he's the same architect from Kalamandalam, Kutambalam, and for Kalakshetra. But as a design, it is so different. And what I have read a little bit about Natya Shastram also, in the Dance Shastram also describes how a performance stage should be. And Srimati Rukmini Devi have brought the same concept what Natya Shastram described about a performance stage. And that is actually a special power or energy or divinity in that theater. The stage especially is made uh, quite lower than the usual performance stage you see in the other theaters.
theaters, yes.
And the audience view goes direct, not sitting and watching, like a stage which is 2
Yes.
meters high. This one is almost only 2 feet height, and the audience and dancers interaction or connection
Interaction.
or feeling the art form is very, very intense. All that the positive side of theater in Kalakshetra. Actually, not Rukmini Arangam, this Bharata Kalakshetra auditorium only that
Sorry.
Sri Apurudan Nair designed. Yeah, and this is no different. Rukmini Arangam is also no different. So Srimati Rukmini Devi's vision, and she wanted something like that. And these theaters are designed especially for dance dramas. When you go there, you will know. If all viewers, if you would like to visit Kalakshetra, you're most welcome. I'm sure Kalakshetra will welcome you. And these theaters are designed in a very special way, and special entrances, and just standing on the stage itself, you get that vibration of like it's a different world. It's like standing in front of limelight, and always I felt that performing on stage is like an unknown place for you, an unknown audience. Your parents can sit and watch in front of you, in the audience, but you will never feel any connection with who are watching you. You are in a world of another world of ecstasy. I don't know how to explain that. You're in a different world as a performer. So this particular stage in Kalakshetra dance, the theaters, it gives the vibe with that divine energy, and that's actually Srimati Rukmini Devi's vision, and it's her idea.
That's very great, sir. Sir, and we also have this kind of talks which generally crops up, like when we get graduated or postgraduate courses from Kalakshetra, if we do, you get the same kind of repertoire which was being followed by then, and there is no change. It's almost like a stagnant thing, but which is not true, because when at least my age, when I interact with my peers and all who are getting graduated, from what was there in the past like 5-6 years, many items have changed, and some of them have kept being constant, and there are changes, but then this common notion that it's the same thing which has been taught from then till now, and there's no change. But even in your profile, when we read, even some items which are choreographed by you in 80s probably or 90s have been added to the curriculum. But why this general opinion is so that it is the same and nothing is changed?
They have to understand this is an institution to learn this art form. When we are talking about Bharatanatyam is a body language. For me, it is no different than any other language. Alphabet A to Z. And then how you use these alphabets, either with the gestures or head, neck, eyes, body, feet. This is the base you learn, and how to use your body. And then you start learning the emotions, how to express yourself. And when Srimati Rukmini Devi started Kalakshetra, how Bharatanatyam was. So she had to revive and refine this art form so much. So I don't want to go to that. And then when you're learning from Kalakshetra with this strict curriculum of what Srimati Rukmini Devi designed, we have 100% practical and 100% theory. So once you come out of this institution, you are completely imbibed with this knowledge to be a performer, to be a choreographer, to be a teacher. And when you talk about these items, the old same items, once you learn these Rukmini Devi's choreographies, and you are ready to create your own. So you get 4 years the base of strict Srimati Rukmini Devi's way of how she revived, or how she brought this refinedness in the art form, the aesthetics expressions, and the aesthetic way of presenting yourself, with a costume to your makeup to hairdress to how you walk and how you talk, everything that is complete, one package to be a good human being. And this is what Kalakshetra gives to a student. And no matter new item you learn or old item you learn, what you learn from Kalakshetra is the system, how to perform Bharatanatyam. So you learn only the base, and then you are ready to choreograph yourself, and that is your own creativity and ability to make it. So if you don't know the base and the depth of his art form, how you're going to how to be an artist? So it doesn't matter it's a new piece or the latest choreography you are learning. You learn the base, number one. Without base, nothing can grow.
That's very true, sir.
I hope I
Very
answered your
Yes, sir.
question.
Yes, sir. Very true. Because we have this general talks like this. So I mean, with no offenses, I just wanted to share this because people
Sagarji,
like you only can answer this to people
yes,
because
yes, Sagarji, I
authentically,
give you one example. I give you one
yes,
example. In Todi, that's Varnam. Rupamu Juchi
Rupamanjari. Yes,
Vachitinu. Yeah, very famous. And those who have learned from Kalakshetra, they know this Varnam. Whether they've learned it in the class or they must have seen it at least. You learn this one Varnam, you can learn any Varnam in this world, or you will know how to choreograph your own Varnam. Because Srimati Rukmini Devi's thoughts on creating a choreography like Rupamujjuchi, the philosophical thoughts behind, the psychological thoughts behind. See, the Muthuswami Dikshidhar, he wrote the first line, and that one line, Rupamujjuchi Vachi Vachitini. What all different way you can interpret the same line. So that makes the depth and the thought process. What is dance is all about this thought only. The thoughts,
thought.
emotion, action. You realize your thought, and that becomes an emotion, and you express it through your actions. So Kalakshetra is teaching that make your thoughts right before you act. So all these traditional or Rukmini Devi's choreographies are based on this philosophy and psychology, mythology, culture, tradition, whatnot. So
That's
technically you can criticize, oh, you did this, but the depth of it you have to understand. It's much more.
yes. Yes, that's very true. And the contribution what Kalakshetra has done cannot be, I mean, erased in the history of classical dance of whole world. I think the history of Bharatanatyam itself. So I think your answer is very apt in this manner, sir. So, but going to the next part of this thing, you graduated from Kalakshetra, and I think in 80s or 90s, how was the situation of sabas then for male dancers, and how do you find it now? Because as a soloist, as a group choreographies of Kalakshetra, yes, we get invitations, and then probably more, and now a little less because of lot more reasons which we have right now, the situations in terms of political, socio-economic, everything. But as a soloist, I think it is our own capacities, as you rightly mentioned, how you establish yourself once you are out of that foundation. So how did you find it, the invitations or performances then to the transition now in terms of opportunities for performances for male dancers?
See, my personal experience when I was in Kalakshetra, when my very second year, part-time second year, I was 12 years old when I took part in Kalakshetra dance drama, Meenakshi Vijay. So since then, I used to take part in dance productions of Kalakshetra, and almost when Srimati Rukmini Devi was there, almost every month, Kalakshetra used to perform everywhere in India, and of course touring abroad and all. But I was not involved in that foreign tours, but most other local tours I was there, and every time there was no time for me to think about performing in a sabha. That's what I'm coming to. And then in the productions also, like I used to do all major characters, and I'm quite a fulfilled dancer, performer. So I was not looking for performances in the sabhas. This is my personal experience I'm talking about. But sabhas like Narada Gana Sabha, especially they used to call me, Sir Subramaniam sir, secretary that time. He used to call me, Narendran, where are you next month? Sir, I'm here. Okay, you're going to perform on this date. And I said, okay, sir. And I have performed for sabhas like this by invitation only.
Invitation.
I never applied because I did not get an opportunity to apply because I was never free like that. Because most of the time I was all my good time I was inside Kalakshetra and always performing, always on stage. Can you believe me? I applied for Doordarshan whatever audition, And the
Auditions.
day audition, they called me for audition. Kalakshetra had a performance, and I could not go. And then I did not have any interest to apply for that again, because I'm completely satisfied performer in that sense.
Correct.
And then started touring, and every month I'm performing. Everywhere I go, I'm performing. Now because of that pandemic, no more tours. Otherwise, every month I'm in a different country, creating new productions and teaching new institutions, new dancers, and various productions and performances. Of course, solo and lecture demonstration, like you mentioned in my
Correct.
introductions. So, in my personal experience, I never applied to perform in any sabhas, and I never missed performing in sabhas. But I always encourage all my students to apply, because now, see, when I was, I would say about 25 years ago, there was no applying for a performance. The sabhas will notice who is the best dancer, or they have a jury. They suggest that, okay, we will invite this person, that person, and that person, and they were invited to perform. And that was also my time. And I think mid 90s it started slowly, the more and more of dancers coming up, and then all this, especially this IT started this issue of you look for your opportunity, and you demand for your opportunity, and demand for what you want, and all this demanding started, I think, since then. Otherwise, artists were how to say respected in their respective form of art, and to their level of performance. They were invited to perform. And now
That's it. Yeah.
it is different, and we have to go with the difference. And it is nothing to say not right, or this is right, or that is right. We have to go with the world.
Full. Yeah. That's, yeah. We need to flow with the river direction wherever it goes. Sir, and regarding collaborations, when it comes to imbibing education from Kalakshetra Foundation, it has, as you rightly said, that framework is set in certain such way, and the philosophy is within you. But when you collaborate with artists of different styles or genres, or maybe the Banis or what we call today, so how would an artist find it as like a training in Kalakshetra medium to collaborate with that with others? Is it little tough, or is it like it again depends on the person who is collaborating
See, the
for
thing
certain
is,
kind of artists?
yeah. See, I have worked with internationally well-known, the top ballet institute, like Bejar Ballet.
Correct.
This institution, I worked almost 10 years. Every year I used to go there for 1 month workshop, and I used to train the ballet dancers. And I tell you, these are top companies, and performance is all like 2,000 over people watch in a gala kind of theaters.
Operas. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and there they invite me for pure Bharatanatyam, and I teach them pure Bharatanatyam, never dilute for any reason, because they asked me to work with them for Bharatanatyam only. So I was strictly following that, and I never needed to change my style. I have done also contemporary productions. In contemporary productions, I have dancers, various dancers, and I use them, and I see what their ability and how they can do the best of that character or that presentation. I only find to I just see that what they can do, that the best way in their own respective art form or style, and that's what I saw. When I work with the Bharatanatyam dancers, now I am working with every style, like Vaduvo style to Pandanallar style to many schools. I conduct workshop in India and abroad. But the thing is, it's not about style. It's not about that I do this, so you do that. No, there is beauty in every style, every art form. We have to only identify that beauty and enhance that beauty, and that's what I've been doing. So no style is greater than the other style. So it's not about style at all. See, for example, yesterday in another interview, they asked me about Bani, and Bani is only, I can say, very simple way, English. There are so many English speaking countries in this world, America to Great Britain to
India.
Australia to Africa, South Africa to India, Singapore.
Indeed.
So is it all English is the same? It is the same, but is it the same way expressed? No. So the same Bharatanatyam has this. Even in Karnataka, you can say that Bangalore, the Kannada, how you speak in Kannada in Bangalore and Mysore. In the same way in Calicut, Malayalam is different. Palakkad Malayalam is different. Trishur Malayalam is
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so that slang or the presentation or way of executing that particular language, how different, the same way in Bharatanatyam, this is natural. And in Kathakali also these variations are there. But
Okay.
collaborating with that, I never felt any issue because I am not looking for, they have to do like what I am doing. No, that's not the way to see it art.
Hmm. I think, yeah, that I think is a very important point, which you said, that it is not that we what we look for, but extracting what's the best from the artist whom you are working with. I think is the key thing which you actually shared. Thank you so much, sir. I think we had a very good exposure of your ideas, and actually the philosophy of Kalakshetra imbibed for centuries now. Sir, even I think this will be my last question to you. I won't pester you more. Sir, as an institution now, I mean, everywhere in the world, as you have been an educator, academician, we see that institutions are providing opportunities now. Gone are the days when institute we graduate and we find the job. Like in technical institutes, we have a placement cell. In medical colleges, they have this internship opportunities and things like that. Every college now has this perk, like a kind of in the job they get perks. In a similar way, you join our college, you are absorbed by certain kind of things like that. So does Kalakshetra also offer certain kind of opportunities for people, because it cannot absorb everybody who graduate there into as faculties, but then at least has certain kind of exposure for students that they can do this, and in a very good value, because that value it's already instilled should also continue in their life, because that 4 years or 8 years what they learn shouldn't be something different to what is practical. Because many of the British learning what we have done in formal education is like that: we learn something and outside the world is something, and we don't know how to match. And Indian education is not that. Whatever we practice we preach. That is very different philosophy. So how does Kalakshetra balance this and tell the students that they have these kind of opportunities?
See, the thing is, once you complete the diploma course and post diploma course in Kalakshetra, you're already ready and established to, or you are confident enough to be a performer or a teacher, or to even choreograph your own how to say theme productions or repertoire choreographies, whatever. So when you are that's what Kalakshetra mainly do. And of course, Kalakshetra is encouraging children to participate in the different festivals. And Kalakshetra don't promise that you learn from here and we get you a job or we get you a performance. That Kalakshetra never done, because it is not like a commercial publicity in that sense. And I don't think it will suit Kalakshetra anyway. So otherwise, everyone come out with such a confidence that they are complete, they have a complete understanding of this art form. And that is actually, I can assure you that once you enter into Kalakshetra, when you come out with a complete knowledge of this art form. And then it's all up to your imaginations and your ability to progress yourself. And art is never ending. You learn lifelong. Let's say, for example, um, if a crow flying, there is something for us to learn. A cat jump from this tree to the other, this place to the other place, or a monkey jump from this tree to the other tree. There is something for us to learn from that, and you will never know when it works. And I have also used this dogs, watching dog, and how I get behave usually, and that also helped me with some productions. And so everything is a learning, and you learn to be observant. You have to observe everything around you, what is happening. You have to observe every people whom you meet and their characteristics and their personalities, and all this will give you an idea how to incorporate all this knowledge into your art form. So when you are ready for that, you don't fear, or you don't look for, oh, you don't look for somebody did not encourage me, or that person did not allow me, or all this will not have any relevance. So because you are ready to be, or to stand on your own feet, and to represent this art to the best of your knowledge.
So not everybody and anybody would have this opportunity to connect with alma mater so much, like the institute where you graduated from. But one fine day you get a letter from Government of India that you have been selected as the committee member for Kalakshetra for the next consecutive term. How did you feel about it, sir?
What can I say about this? It was like a surprise for me. One day, Kalakshetra called me and said, Narendran sir, please send me your biodata. And it was on WhatsApp. And I asked, is it any performance coming up? And no reply. And this is what happened. And after 1 month, Kalakshetra again called me that you are nominated as a member of the governing board of Kalakshetra Foundation. And I said that, oh, wow. Okay. And it is like coming back to this institution, reconnecting with this institution with a better post. And this governing board is all about how this institution should function, or what all the necessity, the changes, or what all we have to revive and reinstate, and all these matters are discussed with the 10-member committee members, with the chairman and director of Kalakshetra. So I am a part of this committee, and I'm so happy and lucky, or God's grace, or Srimati Rukmini Devi's blessing, that I am there in this committee, because it's totally decision of the ministry, cultural ministry.
Yes.
And of course, I thank. I know that I can't be just selected by the ministry unless so many people must have suggested my name, and all their support. Only I am here today, and thanking them all with both my hands together, and I'm so fortunate, I feel. And again, one more blessing that happened recently.
Yeah, that's true. So looking out for more and more glory and your responsible work as a committee member, I think I'm sure it's going to be a more of productive years and extended vision of Rukmini Amma through your work, and we expect great more things from your side, sir. Thank you so much for being part of today's conversation, and it was really an eye opener to various different facts and some things you spoke about, even life, like how do we take our life. And one thing which I took from you directly is to be patient and is to be acceptable. That is, I think, the two things which every student of Bharatanatyam need to have. People lack patience these days, and people have too many choices now because of the online forum open globally. So they see a lot of things and they start kind of evaluating things in a various different framework which won't fit in. I think your talk was very relevant, answering all those questions. And thank you so much for your blessings. And we look out for more and more blessings from you and more sessions in different ways. We could collaborate directly, not virtually. And we would like to have you here in Bangalore, Tumkur, for further productions and shows and things like that. We seek all your support in future, sir.
My inspiration is Kalakshetra and this art form, fine arts. I always asked why it is fine art. Fine. Fine is everything is fine, but refinedness in your thoughts. So Bharatanatyam gave me this refinedness in thoughts and refinedness in action. And I'm so lucky that I could do all this. I could learn a little bit, of what I am, and how, if I decide only, I can change myself, and if it is for a better person in me. And I'm thankful to Bharatanatyam and Srimati Rukmini Devi and Kalakshetra for this. And thank you, Sagarji, for inviting me here. And thank you, all viewers over there. And God bless, and may, everything be peaceful, and this pandemic be somehow overcome this pandemic. And it's so lucky that we are able to meet like
Yeah,
this
sir.
online, and it's
That's
also
true.
another blessing. Thanks to you. Thanks to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Namaste.
Namaste.